and welcome to Talking FCB, and welcome back here, guys, to a late night news roundup. Quite frankly, because we need it. Quite frankly, because Lionel Messi has called for it. Massive, massive news breaking this evening. Could we see Lionel Messi leave the club in 2021, or is there a deeper meaning behind these reports? It's all coming up in today's video. Let's get right to it. Not a moment to lose. Because indeed, this evening, the massive, massive report broke from Spain, and it came from SER, who I have to say have often been a very, very reliable source over the past few months in particular. They do have some credibility, and they say that in 2021, at the end of Lionel Messi's current contract, he is considering, and it's a real possibility, that he could leave Barcelona, and that is huge. That is a massive, massive statement. They go on to say that he has decided to completely halt the negotiations which have been going on now for several months between his father and the club about this contract renewal. But right now, that's come to a halt. That has completely stopped because Messi is seriously undecided. SER actually go on to explain that Lionel Messi feels targeted by the club itself. He feels as though there's a lot of messages, there's a lot of reports that come out that are directly leaked from the club to make him responsible for the club's problems, and he doesn't feel as though that should be happening. And of course that's been proven, not just in recent times where of course the finger may have been pointed at Messi for Barcelona's failures out on the field. A few months ago, Barcelona were actually proven to have paid a social media company to write negative things about their own players. So this is not something here that's been made up. The club, Bartomeu, the board, they are responsible for tarnishing our image. And in particular, I can fully understand why Messi would be unhappy. And this is where it gets interesting, because SER goes on to say that Messi has been desperate now for several years to be part of a winning project at the club. He's demanded that of the board, but he doesn't feel as though right now that's the case. He doesn't feel convinced by the project at Barcelona. And the most intriguing part of this entire report is that SER say Messi will speak directly with the presidential candidates for 2021 to understand their ambitions for the club, to understand what their objectives are, to see what direction they're going to try and take the club in, and also, crucially, who is going to take over as the Barcelona coach. And he's going to use all of that information, he's going to take all of that on board to basically decide if he wants to stay at Barcelona. And like I say, guys, this is absolutely massive news breaking in Spain this evening. It's not something that I expected to be covering, but like I always say with Barcelona, expect the unexpected. It is never, ever quiet. And I want to start, first of all, before we break this down step by step and what this could mean in its full entirety, I want to start by saying this. I genuinely don't believe that Lionel Messi is going to leave the club in 2021. Admittedly, his contract does expire in that year, and as of right now, no renewal has been fully agreed, but I don't see it happening. I see this here as a very, very clever tactic from Messi, number one, to hit out at the current board without actually saying in as many words, because obviously there's only so much he can do. We all look to Messi to be a leader. We all look to Messi to come out and protect the players, to come out and protect himself, and ultimately to try and do his best to force out the board. But there's only so much that he can do. He can't actively come out and really throw them under the bus, because of course at the end of the day, they still lead the club and the club does pay his wages. So there is only so much that he can come out and say in the public domain. But this, for me, this is massive. This is a big, big story. It's going to catch fire. I'm sure we're going to hear lots more people get involved in this. But I do remain that Messi, for me, will stay at the club. But this is a big, big warning shot in the way of the board. And I think it's also really crucial there because Messi has done this sort of thing before. You think back several years ago now when he actually followed all those Chelsea players, the club, on Instagram, and there was a big frenzy about whether Messi would be heading to the Premier League. And again, that put massive pressure on the hierarchy at Barcelona, and it's exactly the same now in this situation, and that's why it's particularly important and very, very crucial for me that actually they speak about the presidential candidates. They speak about the fact that Messi is going to go and talk with them, have a little chat there about what their ambitions are. Automatically we're bringing those potential candidates into the frame, into the thinking there, and all of that is publicity, and that's what you want ahead of this sort of election. Now the question would be, can we bring it forward? Of course the elections take place in June of 2021. 2021, next summer that would be. But is there going to be pressure now? Is there going to be sufficient backlash? Because you can imagine in Barcelona, until this point, things have stayed pretty calm. There hasn't been too many calls towards the board. There haven't been anything really significant. But I would imagine here, if there's a danger, if there's a genuine danger of Barcelona, the talisman, the hero of Barcelona, leaving the club, surely there would be uproar. Surely there would be huge backlash there in the city from the socios towards the Barcelona board. And that has to put pressure on Bartomeu. Because quite clearly here, this is levelled in their direction. He's not unhappy with the fans. He's not unhappy with the players. What he's unhappy with is the running of the club, the way the club conducts itself. And like I say, it's not even guessing there about the club leaking stories and potentially throwing things to the papers there to put the blame on anybody but themselves. It's been proven, literally proven there with the whole i3 Ventures saga. And honestly, it is incredible. They've gotten away with this for so long. But believe me, guys, this is what I've been saying now for a long time. Change is coming. It was only a matter of time before Messi, before other heavyweights hopefully do start to speak up, start here to take some sort of action to keep putting that pressure on. Because believe me, 2021, it is coming. It is coming, and it is coming quickly. And when that time comes, there'll be massive change, and hopefully a sudden shift in direction for this club. Because Bartomeu, the current board at Barcelona, they should be feeling this. They should certainly be worried about the fact that Messi has come out and said this. And like I say, there are going to be big ramifications rumbling through Barcelona tonight. And of course, we're going to have to wait and see what else comes out now. What will follow up on this? Of course, you may see things in Mundo Deportivo. I'll be very cautious reading anything from them, given the fact they can be the mouthpiece for the board at the club. You also got your other local media in Barcelona as well. But I think this article here from Sir certainly has a good bit of substance to it. We're going to have to wait and see what happens from this point on. But there's no doubt in my mind, this tonight, a clear message, a strong message. Messi's unhappy. And when that happens, the fire begins to start. And it's right there in Bartomeu's office. And since we are here, guys, in the late night news roundup, I do want to bring you very quickly an update on Ousmane Dembele, because also earlier on today, along with all this messy stuff, there was a big story surrounding Dembele and his recovery that I'm sure you all want to hear about. Because in the Madrid media, particularly there from AS, they reported that Dembele's recovery is progressing slower than expected. They actually went on to say that he's not going to be featuring against Napoli there in the second leg at the start of August, and instead of playing in that game, he's actually targeting there a return towards the end of August. In total, missing not only the round of 16, but also missing a potential quarter-final and semi-final matches. And that there would be crushing news for Ousmane Dembele. Because, of course, it's frustrating. It will be disappointing. We want to see Dembele back as soon as possible. And we really don't need any more bad news right now than hearing that Dembele's recovery is behind schedule. But I do want to make it very clear that AS is, as of this moment, the only source who have reported this particular story. And I think when you do look further into that report, as I have done, they do seem to be basing all of this stuff about Dembele off of opinion, about what they think in terms of where he's at in terms of recovery, as opposed there to actual information. Because they say that Dembele is still working apart from the group. He hasn't yet started working with the ball. And therefore they say surely he couldn't return there at the start of August for somebody who's been out injured since that surgery back in February. And I just think overall, the opinion piece there, it doesn't really seem as though there's concrete fact that Dembele is behind where he needs to be. Because of course with Dembele, we're always going to be cautious. We're always going to be very fearful. We don't want to rush him back. We've seen what's happened in the past with Dembele when we've done that. But I think the game against Napoli, to be fair, I've always thought maybe that would be a little bit too early for him. Very early in August there, we're going to be getting that round of 16 game out of the way. But personally, I do believe Dembele is going to be trying to make himself available for any quarter-final games, any possible semi-final games. I think Dembele is going to be there or thereabouts, really working hard to get ready for those games. And at this stage, I wouldn't get too bogged down with that. I wouldn't get too involved with when Dembele's back. Let's just wait and see now over the next few weeks. That'll give us a much clearer idea of exactly when he's coming back, when's he going to rejoin the group, when's he going to be out there working with the ball, and all of these things, they're going to give us a much clearer indication and a much more concrete conclusion on exactly when and if we can see Dembele back at the end of this season. So that right there, guys, is where we stand on the late night news, with, of course, that massive story surrounding Lionel Messi breaking right now throughout Barcelona. And Bartomeu there, I can see him sitting there, looking at his laptop, looking at his phone, thinking, oh no, they're coming for me. They are coming for me. My time is coming to an end. And when that happens, we will all throw an absolutely massive party. Messi has put the pressure on. Things are coming. We will not give up until you are gone. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. Thanks as always for your incredible support. You're a big part of every single thing that goes on here. And like I say, we ain't gonna stop. Let me know your thoughts on the entire situation down below. And of course, I'll see you soon. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.